Hi everyone, and welcome back to the MZ Mechanic channel. Today we're diving into the world of clueless and dangerous drivers. Let's analyze and watch together, folks. Let's start. The driver of that silver car veered over the line into the opposite lane, creating a chaotic dance with the truck. Both the truck and the silver car tried to dodge each other, but ended up playing an awkward game of chicken, swerving in the same direction and colliding head-on. The man driving the truck blissfully sped through the iron gate, completely unaware that the bed of his truck was raised high, like a salute to the sky. Carefully consider. In the video, the truck is running a red light. Just a slight, sudden brake. Under the impact of inertia, the steel coil placed behind the freight car rolled down to the front cabin and touched the ground. No wonder there's a saying in the freight industry, the poor don't care about being hungry. This illustrates the dangers of transporting steel coils. When slippage occurs during the transportation of steel coils, the steel coil weighs over 10 tons. In an instant, it becomes a heavy object on top of a high mountain. If not done correctly, lives will be at risk. Watch here. Some people will ask, because laying the steel coil horizontally is very dangerous. Then just stand it up straight. Actually, manufacturers and freight forwarders have considered this issue. Although it is safer to place the steel coil upright, but it also brings many inconveniences and losses. To know that steel coils weigh several tons, even over 10 tons. When loading and securing them to the truck, cranes or professional forklifts are needed to fix and operate the core. If laid flat, it will be very troublesome. Secondly, steel coils often flatten during transportation. They deform or wear due to impact on the truck, especially aluminum coils and special steel coils like cold rolled steel and galvanized steel, which require high integrity when used in production. Sometimes they can be as thin as 0.1 mm due to wear. As a result, the steel coil does not meet standards. Thus, the cost of a driver's hard work may not compensate for the damage. And one more reason that everyone overlooks. Steel coils, during the manufacturing process, are coiled into a circle. After reaching a predetermined length, a few more wires are added to tie it on the outside. If the steel coil is laid flat, in case the outer fixed wires, when the truck is bumpy, suddenly breaks, the tension in the steel coil will be released immediately. This will affect surrounding vehicles and pedestrians. It is a potential danger. Certainly, addressing the cause of trucks being prone to accidents when transporting steel coils. Some truck manufacturers produce specialized trucks for transporting steel coils with recessed card slots on top. It can improve the safety index. It can also increase the transport volume. However, this type of specialized truck can only transport steel coils, and its price can be very high. Therefore, truck drivers cannot transport steel coils many times, spending a lot of money to buy a truck just for carrying steel coils. But in life, sometimes you just have to accept the risks. As people often say, if there is no burden on the body, who will bet on tomorrow? Finally, I just want to remind drivers, when carrying goods, drive as slowly as possible because safety is paramount. The red car suddenly darted across the road, forcing the fast-moving truck to slam on its brakes. The cargo piled up behind surged forward towards the cabin, but luckily, the truck driver remained unharmed. At first glance, it looked like the black car's 180-degree drift was going to be perfect, but the grand finale is more of a blooper reel moment. It seems like the truck driver hasn't glanced at his rearview mirror in ages. He still hasn't noticed that one of the back doors of his truck has swung wide open. In a classic display of stubbornness, neither of the truck drivers would yield, turning the intersection into a bumper car arena. The result? A spectacular three-vehicle pileup. That excavator is definitely not strong enough to hold back a fully loaded dump truck. It's like expecting a toddler to catch a runaway shopping cart. The truck, overloaded with a mountain of awkwardly stacked steel frames, completely ignored its newfound height and barreled through the pedestrian bridge. The result? A cringe-worthy crunch as it hit the underside of the bridge, giving the pedestrians above an unexpected heart-pounding thrill ride. Right off the bat, those beer crates were stacked so haphazardly that as soon as the forklift lifted them, they wobbled and unexpectedly toppled over, transforming the concrete road into an impromptu beer shower party. This white vehicle was zooming along at quite a clip, perhaps having a moment of distraction that led to the driver momentarily losing control. Noticeably, that bright orange car blatantly ran a red light at that intersection, probably mistaking the green right turn signal for their cue to go. The truck driver made a serious mistake while turning, failing to check their surroundings properly, which unfortunately made the white car the unwitting victim. During construction, a sudden flood swept in, submerging many heavy-duty equipment pieces in water. The red oil tanker exhibited lightning-fast reflexes, narrowly escaping a potential collision that could have resulted in significant damage. The black car, in its eagerness to turn around, decided to do a spontaneous dance move across the lanes, completely oblivious to the approaching truck. The heap of soil packed tightly behind the cargo container made lifting it to a certain height a precarious balancing act for the truck. The tires on this truck were so worn out, there was no saving them, they were beyond redemption. The white car's serious mistake ended up damaging not just one but two cars nearby and one ahead of it. A gentle nudge, combined with some good old-fashioned inertia, sent the silver car flying into the air like it was auditioning for a spot in a circus act. Let's take a moment to marvel at the sheer scale of this colossal beast hauling cars. I swear I counted at least 27 vehicles crammed onto its back. It's like witnessing a mobile car dealership on wheels, rolling down the highway with all the swagger of a parade float. Drop your guess below and let's see if we all agree on the count. The driver of this truck maneuvering through these twisty mountain passes must be a seasoned veteran behind the wheel, with a knack for reading every curve and dip in the road like a seasoned map reader. They probably have stories to tell about outsmarting hairpin turns and dodging unexpected obstacles, all while keeping their cargo steady as a rock. It's like watching a masterclass in truck driving mixed with a touch of adrenaline and a dash of finesse. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you don't forget to like. And if you subscribe to my channel, we will definitely appreciate it. See you next time.